Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Angel Storm. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm answering a question about what somebody can expect once you leave a narcissist. So the question is, what is life like post-narcissism? And I actually have an entire playlist on my YouTube channel. It's a course that I wrote several years ago, and it's called Life After Narcissism. And it kind of takes you through each step that somebody will go through, like the processing phases of rehabbing your life after you're done dealing with a narcissist. And especially if you've been dealing with a narcissist long term, like you were raised with one, or you were married to one, or you lived with one, this course is designed to help you to go through every single part of understanding where you need to apply more attention and work in your life. So check that out. That is a playlist, once again, on this YouTube channel. There's a link in the description of this video that can take you there if you're having trouble finding it. But first of all, while nobody experiences the same thing in the exact same way, and this is true for any life event, all things are going to be experienced and interpreted through your life view, through your life lens. Most people tend to go through the same things. And one of the main reasons that this is because, as I've said before on this channel, and I talk a lot about the trauma bond, is because this is an actual addiction. There is an actual neurobiological change that has happened in your brain when you have got with a narcissist, and when you have been with a narcissist long term, or been in their atmosphere intensely, even for a short period of time. So there's an actual change that has happened in the chemistry of your body that will make you addicted. This is one of the reasons why every person who leaves a narcissist, while they might feel relief, they'll also feel sad. They'll have these really low lows that happen, and this is because your body is trying to balance out its hormones. This isn't just an emotional reaction or a like kind of a mental letdown of like you had hopes and dreams for what your future was going to look like, or what how things were going to play out. It's not just an ethereal thing that we can actually measure this happening in your body. So number one, most people will experience extremely low lows while their body is trying to recalibrate how to let their hormones or neurotransmitters and other chemical components of their body get back to normal. This is why detoxing during this time, like detoxing your body, is so important. I have a whole ebook that I wrote about this, where I talk all about why you need to detox your body and give your body a chance to not work against the things that you're going to be doing mentally. Your body can be holding on to all of these toxins, which is going to make it like if you feel bad right away when you wake up in the morning, it's going to be harder for you to overcome thoughts of regret or thoughts of revenge or things like this that are occupying your time and having your body work against you at the same time. You're making it unnecessarily difficult for yourself. So if you can get on a detox, if you could do a cleanse during this time, that will help you get into a good place quicker. The next thing that people will do is obviously struggle with regret. This is super common. People will struggle with unforgiveness, both for themselves, for the narcissist, for the third parties involved. There's going to be a lot of places that need to get healed, and likely when you're going through all of this, you're going to discover that there's been things in your life that you've kind of let go unchecked, and you never really dealt with those issues, and those issues are coming back up now for a reason. It's like, if you're going to clean house, so to speak, it's time to deal with those old problems, which were oftentimes the entryway, the doorway of why you got attracted to the narcissist and why the narcissist was able to take advantage of you. So, using this time as a real time to kind of rehab your whole life is a really good idea. I talk about this again in more detail and in more like exact, precise language in that course that's on my channel, that playlist there. So you can go through that. This process of kind of getting back in touch with who you are and being able to come up with a plan for your future and what you want it to look like, and kind of getting rid of the old and stepping into the new. This process is different for every person. The length of time is different for every person. A lot of it has to do with how willing you are to make changes. But at the end of all of this kind of clearing out, there's going to be like a period of settling where you just decide that, like, if there isn't that feeling of peacefulness, that feeling of stability, that feeling of clarity, then you're just not willing to do any kind of thing anymore. You're not willing to put up with relationships that don't bring those things, with things that are going to upset those things. The atmospherics of your internal world are going to change for the better. And this is one of the best parts of, unfortunately, going through what you go through with narcissistic abuse. There are places of silver linings, and you can find those things and use them to better your life and make your life more stable, more peaceful, more fulfilling than even before you were with the narcissist, or you even recognized the narcissistic atmosphere you were living in, or whatever the case is for you that is watching this video. If you're willing to do all of that work, like I said, there's a new lens that you're given to see life through, and you're not willing to go back to the old way. Unfortunately, what happens sometimes is that people start this process, it becomes very hard, and what's easier is to go back into their old way of thinking, their old way of living, and they continue to attract the same type of people who will use them and abuse them. They'll still continue to make the same kind of reasonings in their mind as to why they need to stay with that person, or why that person is doing it, or what they could possibly do to fix the situation. So if you don't complete the cycle, my point being, then that cycle is going to continue, and it often continues worse than the cycle before. So lots of times people who don't get rehabbed completely, who don't uproot and fix all of those things that are getting uncovered during this process, because it's painful, because it can seem long. You can become tired of doing it if you don't have a good support system and things like that. You'll get sick of it. And so therefore, you'll just go back to what's easier, which is this abusive relationship, this abusive cycle. And it gets worse and worse and worse. And it also gets harder to come out from that cycle every time that you get in it. So let's say the cycle started once and you tried to get out, but you didn't complete the process of detoxing from that horrible relationship. Then you get back into a new relationship, but that relationship is also toxic. The second time going through the detoxing process is going to be harder than the first time would have been if you had just completed that cycle then, and so on and so forth. So every time it gets harder and harder. So I do this with people all day. I help people go through this process all of the time. And one of the things that I noticed is crucial for the detoxifying process and the new life to begin. One thing that has to be present is the person's ability to hope and to dream, because lots of times people just think like this is just what my life is going to be, and there's no point for me to try to make it better because it's always just going to be this way. Or they've lost the ability to have a dream for their life. Like they have no vision for their life. They can't picture what their life could be in a year from now or 2 years from now. Like it's too blurry. That's too far out. They've lost their ambition or their drive to improve, to move forward, and for these two reasons, it's really important that you have a support system when you're getting out of a narcissistic relationship or situation, because you won't all of the time see the way forward, and you're going to need somebody who can help you get in that way forward. So get a support system together before you start this process is my number one advice to you. Understand, like, it's going to be hard. It's going to seem like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back often, or sometimes you feel like you're just taking steps backwards. So you need somebody who can see this journey from another perspective other than yourself. So tell your friends, tell your family, whoever you have in your life that you trust, and get yourself a support system of people who can actually be with you during this time so that you have the best chance to leave this cycle for good. You know, again, as I mentioned, I have the Life After Narcissism course playlist on my YouTube channel, and the link to that is in the description of this video, so you can go check that out. That can help give you the exact areas of your life that you're going to need to take a look at and address any issues that you find in there during that week or that chapter, and you can work on those. And if you want, you can join the I run a private Facebook group. You can join that for a support system, and my one-on-one coaching information is also in the description of this video. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel below and turn on the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel.